So Real Madrid beat Real Oviedo by 3 goals to 0. And honestly, the team was very much perfect in this match. It's just the football wasn't very entertaining. You know, we can complain about low blocks, but that is a part of the game. It's not something I like. It's not entertaining football, but it works, and it was working for them for a good portion of the match. And there were many good performances that we are going to talk about, but before we get into that, we need to discuss something that has become a big thing and maybe even a bit unnoticed by the Real Madrid fans. Now some of you guys might know what I'm talking about, or some of you guys might not, and that is Kylian Mbappe. The man who scored 2 goals, 2 good finishes. I mean, he's on an insane run. This guy could reach 60 plus goals this season. And I can see it happening because he plays under a coach like Xabi Alonso. Now Xabi Alonso, he has a lot of critics. I mean, online there are so many critics, so many Madrid fans who are hypercritical about Xabi Alonso. But one of the things I will say is getting very correct is the management of Kylian Mbappe. Because have you noticed, he has a new role in the team. It's not like how we saw under Ancelotti, where when he started at Real Madrid, he was given too much freedom. He was given freedom alongside Rodrigo, who was also given freedom, and given to Vini, who was also having freedom. So there was too much freedom, and all of them loved the left side of the pitch. So that was a disaster clause that was waiting to happen. But I feel now in this current system, it's more balanced. It's either it's more balanced or it's like they just know what they're doing at this point. It's like they went through all that mistakes last season to become a better duo this season. And I've been noticing this ever since the Tyrol match, which was the friendly. Mbappe has a free roam position. Like he goes into every single position. He plays even in the midfield. You will catch him in the midfield almost like a playmaker. He's a fantastic finisher and he's now a playmaker. So you will catch him a lot of times on the left side. Matter of fact, in this game against Oviedo, he was on that left side quite a lot. And I felt like him and Rodrigo really connected very well there on that left side. Especially with Carreras there as well. I felt like them three really played good together. And I like what I'm seeing from Mbappe, and it's leading to his current performances, because the first goal he scored, I mean, this was just beautiful play. All the goal, just a beauty of a pass. He finds Kylian Mbappe and Mbappe tucks it away. And that is the second goal of his La Liga season so far. Now listen, that pass was great, but the finish was also very good. Like Mbappe is definitely one of the best finishers in the world. But that's not something new. Now we go on to the match, and honestly, if I'm gonna be honest, not doing that much in the match. Match was kinda getting a bit boring in the second half. But then, one magical switch, in which I'm so happy for Vini, because if I'm being honest with you, I was kind of losing hope in Vini. I thought he was falling off, truly. But they decided to take Rodrigo off. Xabi Alonso puts Vini Jr. on, and Vini just starts cooking. Truly, I think this is very necessary. Benching players is super necessary. Now you might ask, why is it necessary? Why should we bench some star players? It's because it wakes them up. It genuinely does something. Because I bet you, if Vini started this game, he probably wouldn't have played as good. Now that's just my opinion, and you guys might disagree, but I feel like when he was put on the bench, it kinda gave him some extra motivation. And overall, yes, it's pressure. When you bench a player and you put him on, you finally give him minutes, which is something we saw happen to Rodrigo. He finally got minutes, and if I'm being honest, he started good, but his performance became slower and slower as the match went on. When he came off, he was frustrated. And the reason why he was so frustrated is he knows he's gonna go back to the bench. Genuinely, that is what happens when you bench players, because they start to realize their place in the team is not guaranteed. But now that time has passed, now that it's been about almost a month of Mbappe wearing the number 10 jersey, honestly, I think he deserves it. I still think Ardo would have been a better player for the number 10, but now that the season's moving on, It just suits Mbappe. It's like he plays better when he gets that number. But further on, as we said, it's gonna be an important season for him. And he's gonna rack up the goals. He's gonna be very important when we face the bigger teams like the Barcelonas. We know he likes to score against Barca. He's gonna be very, very vital in the actual big games, because at the moment, when I look at the team, if you take Mbappe out of the team, they kinda mediocre. And when I say that, I mean, in attack they look very mediocre if you take Mbappe out of the team. But now we're done talking about Mbappe, now we speak about the actual team. Now listen, the team did play good, and I know it's only the second official match that Xabi Alonso has in this new season, but I'm not very impressed. I think if you take this current Real Madrid team and you put them against Chelsea, I think Real Madrid lose. If you put them against Arsenal, they probably gonna lose. If you put them against Barca, they probably gonna lose. So obviously the team still needs time. Not everything is going well in the team, but I think these are the building blocks to the team getting where they need to be. So a player we need to also talk about is Mastantuono, in which when I saw the starting 11, I was excited. Because seeing Mastantuono on the starting 11, that was kind of surreal. But did he perform? I thought he was very decent. Very decent considering he's in a new league. You know, he didn't do everything correct. He lost the ball a few times, made maybe some bad decisions. But I thought his defensive work was good. And maybe we put a bit too much expectations on him. But I think this is a player we need to still be patient with. A player that I would honestly give man of the match to is Aurelian Tchouameni. You know, with Tchouameni, over the past few seasons, he would have one mid-season. Next season he plays good. Next season is mid. And in this current season he has come back and he has been sensational. This guy is insane. Truly, the next big defensive midfielder. He was all over the place, making some brutal and just very vital tackles. His passing was also good, decision making was on point. Tchouameni has become a beast under Xabi Alonso. You know, one thing I have been noticing about Xabi Alonso is that there isn't an official starting 11. Because now we're seeing this guy's rotating the team, and today he decided to rest Trent, Militao and Vinny. And I think this is important because remember, in all of these spots in the team, it's high competition. When Ancelotti was the coach, he would have a set starting 11 and he wouldn't really fall back on it. It would be kind of rare if you see him start someone that he doesn't usually start in the team. But you know, even though this match wasn't extremely fun to watch, it was still a decent match. 3 goals, 2-0, and it was a good performance by Real Madrid. But that's my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts there in the comment section. But if you enjoyed the video, smash like on the video because it helps push the video out, and peace out.